The Skinwalker Ranch is a section of land approximately 480 square acres in size, just southeast of Ballard, Utah. Over the years, countless stories of paranormal activity, encounters with strange animals, UFOs, and even animal mutations have been reported from within the ranch. Some of these experiences ranked as some of the most compelling paranormal events ever recorded. The Utes, an old Native American tribe, fought to expel the Navajo from the Skinwalker Basin shortly before the arrival of white settlers. The Navajo would retreat from the basin, but not before cursing the ranch with the presence of a shape-shifting demon. The Myers family settled in the ranch in 1905, making a small homestead on the property. Although they didn't ever publicly report strange creatures or occurrences, they would abruptly abandon their newly built property some short years later, opting to quietly and quickly move far away. When the Sherman family moved to the ranch in 1994 to breed cattle, they were startled by the impressive array of bolts that covered the doors and windows of the main house. Recalling a 2002 quote, "There were deadbolts on both sides of the doors. Even the kitchen cabinets had bolts on them. And at both ends of the house, iron stakes and heavy chains had been installed. We guessed the previous tenants had positioned large guard dogs in the front and back of the home, but at the time we had no idea why. It wouldn't be long before they would understand." Within a few days of moving in, their livestock started being visited by vicious, strange creatures apparently immune to harm. The Shermans would get a good look at one of these beasts, reporting that it appeared to be a large wolf. When shot with a rifle, the bullets had no effect. Only when blasted several times with a large shotgun would the creature desist from sadistic attack upon their cattle. Other reports from the Shermans' time on the ranch included shafts of light rising like pillars from the ground, fields mysteriously lighting up like stadiums. Massive, semi-visible, shapeless entities also terrorized the family, and multiple people often simultaneously heard a deep, incomprehensible, disembodied voice speaking to them, seemingly from above. Strange disturbances in their home left the family with no safe place, eventually opting to all sleep huddled together on the floor of one room. The final straw was when Terry Sherman sent his 3 dogs to chase glowing blue orbs into the woods, all subsequently being killed by the spheres. Cattle mutilations have also been a large part of the folklore of the surrounding area for decades. They became so frequent, in fact, the National Institute for Discovery Sciences founder, Robert Bigelow, purchased the land in 1996. His purchase was with the intentions to undertake extensive investigations within the ranch, an investigation mysteriously funded, which to this day has been a literal media blackout, even closing down a public road running through the vicinity. A move objected by the locals. You have to wonder what they found. Since the moment of the purchase, no subsequent activities within the ranch have been reported or even admitted to. The National Institute for Discovery Sciences maintaining a complete denial of any new events upon the ranch to this day. Not only has a multi-million-dollar operation been undertaken within the ranch, but whatever they found, it seems they decided would be better withheld from the general public. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, take care. Hi guys, Matt from Mystery History here. Today I wanted to start a new topic. It's surrounding the very real and unexplained mysteries of the crop circle. Throughout the last several decades, many people have come forward as culprits to these strange occurrences, with many of these events subsequently being proven hoaxes. However, there exists a rare few that do not occur near human settlements, not accessible by road. These crop circles are often witnessed by chance in some of the most remote regions of Earth, whose characteristics have evaded scientific explanations since their arrival on our planet. These particularly special formations will often show traces of things which defy logic. The crops from authentic circles will often grow back and show signs of the traumatic event through mutation several generations down the line. Several crop samples from remote formations discovered in the early 90s in the UK were found to have been coated in a, quote, iron glaze, which was later found to be an iron oxide called hematite. Other components present within the samples were later found to have had meteoric origins. After the iron glaze's discovery in 1993, all subsequent unusual crop circles were tested for traces of iron oxides. Many crop and soil samples since then have shared similar characteristics. Tiny metallic magnetic spheres are also often found within soil samples accompanying the formations. When young maize has grown out from a real crop circle's harvest, they have exhibited strange characteristics, such as unusually uniform growth and germination rates. The seed from crop circles that occur on mature plants often exhibit a significant increase in growth rate and vigor, up to 5 times that of control seeds. When scientists and many other types of professionals have attempted to replicate these crop formations, they have utterly failed. The real formations can stretch many acres and often appear overnight, an impossible task when you realize that each corn stem has been laid in differing directions, somehow manipulated individually. The crops will often show signs of scorching from an extremely high temperature, with traces of plasma found on numerous occasions. The scorching is only ever at the base of the stem in a small location known as a node. When the crops grow back, these affected nodes usually enlarge by some centimeters. No one has been able to replicate these formations or how they could possibly be created. Whatever's making these circles might not be human after all. If the creators of the crop circles are of extraterrestrial origin, this raises some interesting, if somewhat concerning, questions. For example, what would be the formation's purpose? How would you communicate with a being from another planet entirely? Maybe this is the question they are attempting to answer.
The archaeological site of Assos, located in the southwestern part of the Biga Peninsula. The location of the Assos settlement is unique in its exquisite and once highly complex design, an effortless mingling with that of the natural environment, combined with the foundation of the architecture. It is also home of the world's most peculiar burial tombs, now known commonly as the meat eaters. They are notoriously known throughout the region for their unique ability of being able to dissolve the remains of the locals in surprisingly short periods of time. The meat-eater tombs are clearly ancient, yet their true antiquity is still unknown. They were originally cut to rough designs, with their interior and detailed decorations completed in the graveyard. Some long-term investigative researchers at the site are fascinated with this phenomenon and have been eagerly trying to figure out just what's causing the bodies to decompose so quickly in these particular tombs. The current favorite theory is that of a high content of aluminum within the stone used, some claiming that the aluminum material is what's causing the fast decomposition. Maybe the locals of Assos somehow figured out that aluminum could corrode flesh if added in specific quantities to the stone, subsequently putting this material inside the tombs to decompose the bodies within a short period of time. The meat-eater tombs of Assos become more famous every day as more and more specialists become aware of their fascinating and unique characteristics. Professor Nurettin Aslan, head of the archaeology department, thus head of the excavations in the ancient city, told us, quote, "The fact that these tombs were exported to different countries shows that they were very expensive and highly sought-after tombs. Just how do the meat-eater tombs work? Regardless of the currently peddled theories, we still do not know. They remain an enigma to science and a mystery to history."
The phenomena we are about to cover may at first sound absurd, and indeed it would appear to be impossible. However, due to the vast array of witness testimonies which span the earth, it would be ignorant to not approach the subject with an air of curiosity. The phenomena became known as entombed animal, and throughout the years it has been referenced in the writings of William Newburgh, J.G. Wood, Ambrose Paré, Robert Plot, André-Marie Constant Dumeril, John Wesley, even Charles Dickens mentioned it in his journal all the year round. According to Fortean Times, a British monthly magazine devoted to the anomalous phenomena, about 210 entombed animal cases have been described in Europe, North America, Africa, Australia, and New Zealand since the 15th century. Animals are reportedly found alive after being encased in solid rock, coal, or wood for an indeterminate amount of time. The accounts usually involve frogs or toads, thus the phenomenon is sometimes called toad in the hole. Although it has been dismissed by mainstream science, it remains a topic of interest to the Fortean researchers, among others. On rare occasions, multiple animals are said to have been found encased in the same place. Benjamin Franklin wrote an account of 4 live toads claimed to have been found enclosed in quarried limestone. One Eric G. Mackley claimed to have freed 23 frogs from a single piece of concrete while widening a road in Devonshire, the UK. And an 1876 report from South Africa said that 63 small toads were found in the middle of a 16-foot wide tree trunk. Though reports of entombed animals have occurred as recently as the 1980s, during the 1820s, English geologist William Buckland conducted an experiment to see how long a toad could remain alive while encased in stone. He placed toads of different sizes and ages into carved chambers within limestone and sandstone blocks, then buried the blocks in his garden. Buckland concluded that toads could not survive inside rock for extreme lengths of time and determined that reporters of the entombed animal phenomenon were mistaken. In an article in an 1890 Scientific American, a writer declared, quote, "Many well-authenticated stories of the finding of live toads and frogs in solid rock are on record." While a few years later the editor of the magazine Nature argued, quote, "It matters little to tell the reporters of such occurrences that the thing is absolutely impossible, and that our believing it would involve a conclusion that the whole science of geology, not to mention biology, is a mass of nonsense." End quote. Assuming that out of the hundreds of reports from around the world, some were actually true, then just how did these animals become entombed in stone? And how did they survive? The last official report was in the 1980s, so we may have to wait a while for another occurrence. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, take care.